Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome everyone to today's Explainer. We're looking at a seasonal shift that, let's be honest, we all eagerly anticipate, but it's one that brings a wave of hidden health hazards right to our doorsteps. I'm talking about that intense transition into the July and August monsoons. We all absolutely love the cooling rains, right? But behind that relief hides a massive spike in seasonal fevers. So today we're going to unpack exactly what causes these sudden illnesses, the essential prevention strategies. We'll be focusing heavily on actionable, everyday hygiene, and the practical remedies you need to keep your family safe. Let's get to it.
To really understand the threat, we first have to look at the environment itself. Think back to May and June. We experienced that blistering, extreme heat and intense dryness. But then, fast forward to July and August, and the weather just completely flips. We get heavy rains and sky-high humidity. And with those rains comes the absolute biggest culprit of all, stagnant water. This sudden environmental whiplash creates the perfect breeding ground for mosquitoes, and it literally drives bugs like centipedes and other insects right out of the ground and straight into our homes.
So, here is our quick roadmap for today. 1. The hidden monsoon threat. 2. Common diseases and causes. 3. Essential hygiene practices. 4. Recognizing the danger signs. And 5. 4 rules for safety.
The hidden monsoon threat, when rains bring more than relief.
You know, when the rains finally arrive, it truly feels like a massive energetic shift in the environment. The air cools down, the dust settles, and there's this collective sigh of relief. But the catch is, that relief brings a massive spike in seasonal illnesses. We start with the basics, your standard cold and cough, and general viral fevers. But then it escalates, and it escalates quickly to gastrointestinal issues like diarrhea and food poisoning. More severely, we start seeing dangerous outbreaks of typhoid, jaundice, specifically hepatitis A and E, and of course the incredibly severe mosquito-borne illnesses, dengue and chikungunya. It's a harsh list for sure, and it's entirely triggered by the changing weather and rapid insect breeding.
Common diseases and causes. Knowing your enemy. Now what's really interesting here is how we can actually divide our enemies into 2 distinct camps to build a much clearer defense strategy. First, we have water and foodborne illnesses, like typhoid, jaundice, and diarrhea. These are a direct result of consuming contaminated food and water, or frankly, from poor personal hygiene. Now contrast that with the second camp, mosquito-borne illnesses, specifically dengue and chikungunya. These have absolutely nothing to do with what you ate for lunch. They are strictly caused by mosquito bites resulting from all that stagnant water we talked about. By dividing the enemy into these 2 camps, our whole defense strategy becomes incredibly clear.
But hey, before we get to our main defense strategy, let's bust a quick myth. We all love a traditional turmeric and salt bath. And sure, you might feel like glowing royalty coming out of it. But unfortunately, it doesn't act as some magical force field. It lacks strong scientific evidence for actually boosting immunity against severe diseases like dengue or typhoid. We can't just rely on comforting myths, we've got to rely on proven scientific hygiene practices. Essential hygiene practices, the core defense.
Let's tackle the food and waterborne threats first, because your dietary defenses are absolutely vital right now. Rule number 1, and I cannot stress this enough, this is an absolute necessity: drink only boiled and cooled water. Seriously, do not trust straight tap water during the monsoons. Rule 2, eat hot, freshly cooked food. Try to avoid food that's just been sitting out on the counter. Rule 3 is your everyday frontline defense against contamination: wash those hands frequently with soap. And finally, build up your body's natural resilience by working fresh, nutritious ingredients like ginger, garlic, and turmeric, alongside plenty of fresh veggies and fruits, right into your daily meals.
Now, our defense obviously doesn't stop in the kitchen, it extends right out into our environment. Remember those mosquitoes we were talking about? Well, here is exactly how we stop them. Step 1, clear all stagnant water around your home, period. This stops mosquitoes before they ever even get a chance to breed. Step 2, create physical barriers using mosquito nets and repellents. Step 3, minimize exposed skin by wearing full-sleeved clothes. And Step 4, to prevent those general viral fevers, always use rain gear like umbrellas and raincoats. Actually, let's add to that. If you do get caught in the rain, change out of those wet clothes instantly. Don't just sit around in them.
Recognizing the danger signs. When to seek help.
Okay, so even with literally perfect hygiene, illnesses can still slip through the cracks. You really need to know when home care is no longer enough and when professional medical help is urgently required. If you or someone you love has a fever that lasts more than 2 to 3 days, do not just try to wait it out. If you experience a severe headache, intense body pains, or any difficulty breathing whatsoever, you need a doctor. Repeated vomiting or terrifying signs like bleeding or black stool are extreme red flags.
And finally, if a fever strikes highly vulnerable groups, like small children, pregnant women, or the elderly, you must drop everything and consult a doctor immediately.
And here is an absolutely crucial warning. Never self-medicate with antibiotics or painkillers. I know it's tempting, but this is a highly dangerous practice during the monsoon season. A lot of over-the-counter pain meds can actually thin your blood. So think about it. If you have an undiagnosed fever that happens to be dengue, taking those common pills without a doctor's guidance could trigger severe, life-threatening internal bleeding. There's just no way around it. You must get proper medical testing first.
4 rules for safety. Your action plan.
To bring this whole explainer together, let's distill all this critical info down into 4 golden habits. First, hygiene, washing those hands frequently and eating fresh, hot food. Second, safe water, boiling it every single time, 0 exceptions. Third, mosquito control, clearing that stagnant water from your home and covering up. And fourth, timely medicine, knowing the red flags and actually seeing a doctor instead of resorting to dangerous self-medication. If you make these 4 rules a habit, you are actively protecting yourself and your family from the whole shebang of seasonal fevers.
Which brings us to our final thought for the day. Take a look at your own surroundings today. Are your home and your daily habits truly ready for the monsoon? Have you cleared that stagnant water sitting out on the balcony? Are you boiling your drinking water? You know, knowledge is only power when you actually apply it. So take action today. Implement those essential hygiene practices and stay healthy this season. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.